Excuse me, ducks. So we got ducks on that side. And then we also have all the ducks on this side. There they are. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. I got to do this quick because my phone's going to overheat. I was eating crickets. Long story short, this old man made some crickets for me. He's a fishing buddy. And he said, hey, man, next time you go fishing, go ahead and eat some of these crickets. And if you don't believe me, I will take one out of the bag and you can see his cute little face here. And they're actually quite crunchy and good. They're Cajun style. But with that being said, they're quite dry, so cheers. Now I'm sitting here in the parking lot of Dollar General, and I was at work, and I was going over some video things in my head, and I was thinking, you know what would be interesting? It would be interesting for people to see what a person makes living in Arkansas, working at a gas station in the middle of nowhere, because I do work way outside of the city limits. There are more people around than teeth, and meth is everywhere, and it's quite a nice community, I gotta be quite honest with you. The people may be a little strung out, but they're the nicest people I've ever met. Here is exactly what I made. So I make $12 an hour working in rural Arkansas at a gas station, and this week I worked 40 hours. And I also did 10 hours of overtime. So in total, I did 50 hours of work. Now for this, I was paid $659, which after taxes, what I got in my bank account was $555.90. Now, when I was working in California, a comfortable living for me was making $571 a week. So this is actually pretty damn good. I can live very comfortably on this. I can do anything I want to do, but it's a little bit lower than I'm used to. Now, I wasn't making much anyway, so people say, you know, you're gonna move to Arkansas and it's a huge wage difference. It's really not. The job that I was making in California was 20. The job that I got out here was 17, the first one. Unfortunately, I didn't like that one, so I switched to this one, which is way better, but I just make a little bit less money. Now, working overtime, I did make closer to $18 an hour, and I brought in $200 just from the 10 hours of overtime, and that was just added up over the whole entire week. So rent in my city in Palm Springs, if you wanted a 2-bedroom and 1-bathroom apartment, which is what I have in Arkansas right now, you would be paying at the minimum $2,500. Now, where I'm at, I pay monthly for rent. It kind of fluctuates a little bit. It's between $750 and $890. I'm not exactly sure why that is, but I haven't really looked into it, to be honest, but we'll just round that up. We'll say $850. We'll go on the high end of things. And all of my utilities combined, so electricity alone back home in California, to run the air conditioner, you were looking at about $800 a month alone for electricity. Here in Arkansas, everything is on one bill. So that's water, gas, electricity, everything. I pay monthly $190, and I keep my air conditioning at 71 degrees. You can ask my family who just left. They were in here freezing. They needed jackets. So overall, you do make less money here, but also your money goes a lot further. So just to show you guys some proof here, I'm just gonna cover that up real quick. You can see my total hours worked there. So to give you another example, when I lived with my grandma back in California, I used to pay the water bill every single month, and I would go down to 7-Eleven, I would pay the water bill, and the water bill would be about $220 for that entire month. Now granted, my grandma has a huge yard, and she would constantly be watering, but to put in perspective, all of my utilities combined, and I got the best internet plan you can get, because obviously I like to live stream and do videos and things like that, I pay $190. So all the electricity, all the garbage, everything like that. Everybody looks at me out here like when I'm making videos, they're really not used to that. That's one thing that's kind of weird. I'm just standing out here outside of a Dollar General right now. But with all of that being said, it's time for me to get a different job. It's time for me to go into a career, try to make some more money, try to prepare for my future, because this I can survive on, but I want to do more than just surviving, man. My whole life, I've just been surviving. I've just been doing okay. But I actually want to take it to the next level. I was talking to somebody at my work, and he was telling me about how I should go work for Coca-Cola. He said, look, dude, honestly, you're gonna have to bust your fucking ass. He's like, you're gonna have to bust your ass, and you're gonna start at the bottom, and you're just gonna go and you're gonna have to load and unload and constantly work like 14, 16-hour shifts driving. But once you get there, you can get a better job. And he said, I started working and I started at $50,000 a year. That's fucking great to me. That is double that's actually triple, I think, what I'm making at the gas station. And also, I need a job with health insurance, dude. Like, I got fucking food poisoning and I couldn't go to a hospital. And I really should have gone. My temperature was so high, I sat in a ball for a week, and at the end of it, I'm like, you know what? I need a different job. Because you gotta be able to go to the hospital, dude. Anything could happen. I could drop dead well, not drop dead, God forbid, but I could fall down right here on the curb and bust my face, and I will be absolutely screwed. It's pretty sad when you can't have health insurance and you're working 50 hours a week. It's kind of crazy how that's even possible. I don't even really understand that. That's just fucking mind-blowing, right? Sorry, you guys, I had to come into the shade, man. I'm fucking sweating my ass off over there. But I've also been thinking about this. Now, everybody knows, and I'm not gonna get on a whole rant here, I think. Everybody knows, like, inflation's never coming down, right? Like, we're past that point. I think ever since 2020, that train is pretty much just derailed. Like I always say, it doesn't really matter who's in office. The train has keep on running. Things just keep getting more expensive. Like, my grandma's 93 years old, and one of the greatest things she ever told me is, mijo, it doesn't matter who's in office. I've never seen those prices go down. And it's like, you know what? That's actually true. Now, it might go down for one or two things, right? And gas is kind of stagnant, but look at the housing prices. I really think that people my age, 30, below, 35, 40, we need to be in desperation mode. We need to be hustling our fucking ass off, because I rent right now and it's pretty comfortable. It's pretty comfortable. My total expenses are like $1,000 a month, right? Like, give or take some months. But you know what's gonna happen? So for example, my friend, my best friend of all time, we won't say names, right? But he used to rent an apartment in Palm Springs, California in 2016, and he lived with 3 other people. Now, at the time, this apartment was $950. If you look at it today, it is $2,750. I always look at apartments and prices, and that's one I always go back to because I just love that apartment. I had a lot of good memories there. That's the first time I tried rum and threw up in the toilet. But I get to thinking, I'm like, okay, so if it's only $900 now or $1,000 a month now, what is it going to be in 10 years from now? So my cost of living will not keep up with, wages are not keeping up with the cost of living, right? So what's gonna happen 10 years from now? Will the rent be $1,400? Will it be $1,500? Shit, will it be $2,000? Probably, right? The way things are going, nothing's getting better. So how do we go about doing that? How do we combat this? Well, you buy a house. And honestly, I've always wanted to buy a house, but living in Palm Springs, California, that was never gonna happen. It was like $700K. I think the median or average house price is $700K there. But out here, you can actually buy a house for like $180,000, $170,000, $190,000, right? Which makes things feasible. You lock in a mortgage rate, not that 50-year dumbass mortgage rate idea that they're trying to get you to do, because, you know, I won't go into that too much, but as you know, you're gonna end up paying a lot more interest. In a 50-year mortgage, they just have you like you're just a wage slave forever. Like, they guarantee you're just gonna be working forever. Because if I buy a house right now, I'm 31 years old. In 50 years, I'm going to be 81 years old. That's nuts. I probably will die. The way my body's going, my liver's done I've done some serious damage to my liver. There's no way. I will probably not make it to 80 years old. Maybe there's hope. Maybe if I stop eating Red 40, but it's not looking good. I gotta get out of these bushes. I look like a crackhead out here just ranting and raving. I like how I said I wasn't gonna rant, and here we go. We're like 5 minutes in. So where are you going with this, bro? What are you talking about? Are you buying a house? No, I don't even know where I wanna live. I don't know if I wanna live here for a long time. I don't know if I wanna move back to California or move to Alabama or move somewhere else. I don't fucking know. And I honestly, be quite honest, I don't even have the money for a down payment. So it's not like I'm buying a house anytime soon. I really hope by 35 I can make that happen. But am I starting a business on $500 a week? No. Am I buying a house on $500 a week? No. Am I really building a future for myself on $500 a week? No, not really. No, I didn't quit my job, but yes, I am looking for a better opportunity. Never quit your job before you have another one lined up. That's a bad decision I've made once or twice in my life, and it doesn't ever really work out good. It's just so much anxiety and stress. So basically, I don't really know where I'm going with this rant. All I know is I just wanted to tell you guys how much I made from the gas station, and it turned into this whole thing with me tweaking out in the woods talking about house prices. But I mean, that's how I feel, dude. I feel like our generation really got screwed on a lot of things, and housing is one of them. And that's always been like one of the American dreams, but you have a company like BlackRock buying up millions of houses every week. Life is a learning experience, man, and it's a learning experience for me too. I don't really know exactly what I'm doing. I'm just trying my best to make it in the world and post some videos along the way. I don't know where that accent came from. I've been playing too much War of Rights. All right, I did end up going on a whole rant, and I really don't know where I was going with that, but now I'm in the back of a Casey's, hiding in the bushes. People always tell me, hey brother, get a trade, go into air conditioning, do HVAC. I just don't want to do that. I like doing things that I want to do, and I've always liked working in a gas station. So where do I realistically think I'm going to end up within the next year? I'm going to try to find a gas station that offers health insurance, a 401k, some sort of like retirement plan. I'm gonna need some dental insurance because my mouth is all sorts of fucked up. I'm gonna need some extreme dental, and also one that is not open 24 hours because I'm so tired of working the graveyard shift. I just don't want to do it anymore. It ruins my entire life. So those are my 3 prerequisites. I need to make close to 18 bucks an hour, no more graveyard. I need a dental plan, health plan, 401k, and that's asking a lot from a gas station job, but I'm pretty sure I can find it if I definitely look around. So that's what I'm gonna be going into. Money is definitely not everything, and I'm somebody who believes in frugality. I mean, look at how I dress. I don't really wear the most expensive clothes. I have a black t-shirt. The only things I really spend money on is Coca-Cola, and my grocery bill for the week is about $50 a week. I'm a pretty frugal guy. I don't believe in spending a lot of money, but I do believe in paying yourself first. And what I mean by that is the best thing that I ever did in my entire life, if there's a message to close out this video, is I started investing in 2023, like the end of 2023, and it was just small, consistent buys every single week. Whether it was like $5, $10, $20, man, you gotta remember to pay yourself first, because the only like major thing that I always think about at night is I don't want to be working when I'm too tired and too old to do so. So fucking save now, man. Save now. It scares the shit out of me because I saw how my whole family basically always struggled with money, and people around me always struggle with money. And that's one thing that always stuck with me is, dude, as soon as you get paid, pay yourself first, even if it's just $10. Throw that $10 into, stocks or whatever it is. I'm not giving financial advice. I'm just saying save your money. And whatever you want to do with that, do it, but definitely save it and pay yourself first, man, because no one's coming to save us. Doesn't matter who's in office, doesn't matter who's president, everything's just going to keep going downhill. And if you think about it like that and you think that things are just going to get worse, and if you pay yourself first, luckily one day, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 years from now, you will not be dying broke. Like, I have a cousin, man. I have a cousin, and he spent his whole life working for cash, and now he's in his 50s. And he breaks his ass, bro, working at a car wash place, kind of one that's like this right here. And for the longest time, I always thought, like, man, this guy's kind of said he figured it out. Like, he makes a good living. He's always going to like Alaska and here and the South and everywhere, and he's going everywhere. But turns out, like, my grandma told me, he's freaking out now because he doesn't have any money for retirement. Social Security's not going to be enough. So that's always in my head, dude. Just like, no matter what you do, save some money and just never touch it. Pretend it's not there. $5 to $10 a week. If you could do more than that, great. But shit, I started at $5 a week and I've slowly upped it. One of the best things, I'm very thankful that I learned early, and I taught myself everything I know about investing. I just got into the world of videos and saving, and I went down the rabbit hole. And in 2023, I started saving $5 a week. And eventually now I'm up to the point to where now I save about $20 a week, and I just throw that into like S&P 500 stocks, and they've done pretty well. And that's something that I'm not going to touch until I'm 60. Hopefully I make it to that time, but maybe I can retire 5 years early one day, and all that saving from when I was young paid off. And it's not something that is like you're going to handicap yourself, right, to where like, oh, I can't go out anymore because I'm saving $100 a week. It's $20 a week. Everybody can do it. And I know you can do it because you spend money on some bullshit, right? Everybody spends $5, $10, $20 a week on something they don't need, whether that's Taco Bell or Starbucks, to be cliche or whatever, but you can make it happen. And so here's another example. I was recently talking with one of my coworkers from 7-Eleven, not Armando, and she was telling me how she bought her house during COVID for $180,000 in Desert Hot Springs. Do you know what that house goes for today? She is now selling her house for $440,000. And that's in a 5 to 6 year span. So I look at houses now and I'm like, shit, it's $200K. What's it gonna be in 5 years? Because like I said earlier, inflation's not stopping, so this house could be at $400K. Is it better to dive in now? Because like I said, I'm paying $900 a month for rent. If you lock in the mortgage rate, it's good for, 15 to 20 years, but I'm just not at that point yet. I don't even know where I want to live. I don't really have a down payment saved up. So honestly, that's kind of out of my grasp, out of my reach right now. If you're under 35, man, lock in and clock in, dude, and really start thinking about these things, because I'm fucking nervous for the future. I'm nervous for our future. I'm nervous for our future as a country, man. Everything just seems to just go higher and higher and downhill. And I don't want to sound like a doomer, because you can actually make it out, man. You can make it out. Living in California, I would have never made it out because, like I said, the rent was $2,500 a month. But out here in Arkansas, there is a future, there is potential, because you can save money even if you make a little bit less. And I'm not even using myself as an example for this. My girlfriend was making $23 an hour. Over here, she makes significantly less, but she's actually saving more per month just because she has less money going out the window each month. Anyway, man, I'm gonna wrap it up before we go on, but I'm just nervous for the future, dude. I'm nervous for what the future holds and where we're going as a society, not even just a country in general. I mean, there's so many things to be worried about, from AI and housing prices and inflation, and I just want to sip an apple juice, dude, and remember when times were good. But anyway, I'm sorry, you guys. I had a need to vent. Peace! And Buck Reese, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Don't worry, it's gonna be fine. That's what I tell myself every day. I don't know if that shit's true or not, but you gotta believe.